Hey everyone! Today, we're diving into family in German. We'll focus on describing your family members and asking about theirs. You'll learn how to use the verb haben that's to have along with possessive adjectives like mein and dein that's my and your. We'll kick things off with a simple dialogue to show these ideas in action, and then we'll break down each phrase so you can use them comfortably yourself. Let's get started.
Ich habe einen Bruder. Ich habe einen Bruder.
Hast du noch Geschwister? Hast du noch Geschwister?
All right, let's break that down. Emily said,
Ich habe einen Bruder.
which means I've got a brother. The verb haben is really important here. Notice how it's used, ich habe. Remember, that means I have. A common mistake for English speakers is to mix it up with hat instead of habe. Just keep in mind that haben changes, unlike English have. Then James asked hast du noch Geschwister? Meaning, do you have any other siblings? Is the you form of haben do.
Ja, ich habe eine Schwester. Ja, ich habe eine Schwester.
Das ist schön. Wie ist deine Familie? Das ist schön. Wie ist deine Familie?
Now, pay close attention. Emily said.
Ja, ich habe eine Schwester.
Notice the structure verb comes first. And we've got mein Schwester. The word mein is important here. Mein is the feminine form of mein, my. It changes depending on the gender of the noun. Keep that in mind. Don't forget, German adjectives must agree with the noun. Then James asked,
Wie ist deine Familie?
which means what's your family like?
Deine.
Refers to your family.
Meine Familie ist sehr nett. Meine Familie ist sehr nett.
Emily just said,
Meine Familie ist sehr nett.
my family's really nice. We see mein again, adapting to the feminine noun family. Remember Sayer, Barry. James replies with,
Das freut mich.
which means that makes me happy. It's a great expression to remember. Focusing on possessives, think mein Vater my father, mein Mutter my mother. Let's practice these pairings.
Hast du einen Vater? Hast du einen Vater?
Ja, ich habe einen Vater und eine Mutter. Ja, ich habe einen Vater und eine Mutter.
Now notice Emily asks,
Hast du einen Vater?
meaning do you have a dad? James responds with,
Ja, ich habe einen Vater und eine Mutter.
yeah, I have a dad and a mom. Again, we see habe that's crucial to remember. Also note,
Eine.
goes before Vater because Vater is masculine. This is something important to keep in mind for good grammar.
Wie alt ist dein Vater? Wie alt ist dein Vater?
Mein Vater ist 50 Jahre alt. Mein Vater ist 50 Jahre alt.
Emily just asked,
Wie alt ist dein Vater?
how old is your dad? Remember alt is about age. James responds with,
Mein Vater ist 50 Jahre alt.
here we see mein Vater again. A common mistake is forgetting that adjectives need to agree. 50 is 50. Just keep in mind it's masculine here, so it needs to follow the gender rules.
Ja,
Means years.
ich habe keine Geschwister. Ich habe keine Geschwister.
Verstehe. Ist deine Familie klein? Verstehe. Ist deine Familie klein?
Today, we'll be expanding our descriptive vocabulary. We'll learn
Alt.
meaning old and
Ja.
meaning young. Remember, adjectives generally come after the noun they describe. We'll practice using these to describe family members' ages, reinforcing possessive adjectives from our previous lesson. Pay attention to agreement. We'll cover that briefly.
Wie alt ist deine Mutter? Wie alt ist deine Mutter?
Excellent question. Notice how we use
Alt.
to ask about age. If your mother is female, you need to make
Alt.
feminine. The feminine form is
Alt.
so. To answer, you might say,
Meine Mutter ist 50 Jahre alt.
My mother is 50 years old. Always double check the gender of the noun. This is crucial for correct grammar.
Mein Vater ist jung. Mein Vater ist jung.
Fantastic. Good use of an
Nein.
when describing a male, your father. Doesn't change. Although many adjectives change when describing nouns of different genders, this one does not. This demonstrates a pattern. Look out for these. Good work noticing the gender agreement. This confirms your understanding is growing stronger.
Hast du einen Großvater? Hast du einen Großvater?
Great question, Emily. Let's add to our vocabulary.
Großvater.
Means grandfather. Notice the suffix.
Fa.
It means father. The prefix
Was?
means big or grand. So,
Großvater.
literally means big father, which we understand to mean grandfather. Let's move on to a possible response.
Ich habe einen Großvater, aber er ist alt. Ich habe einen Großvater, aber er ist alt.
Today we're going to expand on size and introduce numbers. Remember, we established klein, small, and gross, big described families. Now, let's learn some basic German numbers, starting with 1, 2, and 3. This will help you be more specific when describing your family. For example, ich habe 2 Brüder, I have 2 brothers.
Ich habe 3 Schwestern. Ich habe 3 Schwestern.
Excellent, Emily. Saying
Ich habe 3 Schwestern.
is perfect. Let's recap. Eins means 1, 2 means 2, and 3 means 3. Pay attention to how the number precedes the noun, 3 Schwestern, always. We will now learn the number wir 4. Remember, good pronunciation is key.
Hat deine Familie viele Kinder? Hat deine Familie viele Kinder?
Today we'll learn the preposition mit. Mit means with. We use it to describe who you do things with. For example,
Ich bin mit meiner Mutter.
means I am with my mother. Prepositions like mit always need to agree with the case of the noun they govern. Let's see how it works in a sentence.
Ich gehe mit meinem Bruder ins Kino. Ich gehe mit meinem Bruder ins Kino.
Excellent, Emily. Notice the use of the dative case with mit. Mit always takes the dative case. So, if you're talking about going somewhere with someone, you'll need to use the dative form of the noun describing that person. We'll practice using mit with different family members and activities. Let's ensure we always use the correct case.
Spielt deine Schwester oft mit dir Fußball? Spielt deine Schwester oft mit dir Fußball?
Very good, James. You've correctly formed a question using oft often. Remember, questions in German often involve inverting the order of the subject and verb. The question asks if Emily's sister frequently plays football with her. It's a natural and practical question for everyday conversation. Great job including a relative.
Ja, meine Schwester spielt manchmal mit mir Fußball. Ja, meine Schwester spielt manchmal mit mir Fußball.
Fantastic, Emily. That response is perfect. You've correctly used
Manchmal.
which means sometimes. Notice how it modifies the verb spielen to describe the frequency of the action. Manchmal is an adverb describing how often something happens. It's an important addition to your vocabulary for expressing frequency.
Hat dein Großvater einen Hund? Hat dein Großvater einen Hund?
Excellent question, James. You're expanding your vocabulary nicely. This query delves into whether Emily's grandfather owns a dog, building on the theme of family possessions that we've been practicing. It's a simple but effective way to initiate a conversation and gain more insights into someone's family.
Nein, mein Großvater hat keine Haustiere. Nein, mein Großvater hat keine Haustiere.
Today we're going to learn aber, which means but. It's used to introduce a contrast or something unexpected. It's incredibly common in German, like but in English. For example, you might say,
Ich mag Pizza, aber ich mag keine Ananas auf Pizza.
I like pizza, but I don't like pineapple on pizza. It connects two contrasting ideas.
Ich habe eine Schwester, aber sie wohnt weit weg. Ich habe eine Schwester, aber sie wohnt weit weg.
Excellent, Emily. Pay close attention to the verb. It means to live. It's a separable verb, but in this instance, the prefix wo is attached to the verb stem. Notice how it's conjugated.
Und
Is the third person singular form she, he, it lives. Remember, separable verbs are important for forming sentences correctly.
Mein Vater ist alt, aber er ist immer noch aktiv. Mein Vater ist alt, aber er ist immer noch aktiv.
Very good, James. Here we see the phrase,
immer noch.
which means still or yet. It's a useful way to describe that something continues despite age or a change in circumstances. So,
Ist immer noch aktiv.
conveys that your father remains active despite being old. This highlights an important contrast.
Meine Mutter ist beschäftigt, aber sie hat immer Zeit für mich. Meine Mutter ist beschäftigt, aber sie hat immer Zeit für mich.
Today, we're expanding our understanding of possessive adjectives to include unser, which means our. Unlike mein and deine, unser is used when referring to something belonging to a group, like your family as a whole. We'll practice using it with various nouns related to family belongings to solidify your grasp of collective ownership. Get ready to combine haben with unser.
Wir haben ein großes Haus für unsere Familie. Wir haben ein großes Haus für unsere Familie.
Excellent, Emily.
Wir haben
Is a perfect example of subject-verb agreement. Where we is plural, therefore the verb haben takes its plural form. Remember to always check if your subject is singular or plural. This is key to correct conjugation in German. Let's see if James can use it correctly next.
Unsere Kinder spielen im Garten. Unsere Kinder spielen im Garten.
Very good, James. Note that
und
changes depending on the gender and case of the noun it modifies. Here,
unser Kinder.
is correct because kinder is plural neuter. This is a crucial feature of German grammar. Always consider the noun's gender and case to use possessive pronouns properly. Now, let's move on to the accusative case.
Ich sehe unser Auto in der Garage. Ich sehe unser Auto in der Garage. Meine Familie ist groß. Meine Familie ist groß.
Mein Vater ist Lehrer. Mein Vater ist Lehrer.
Meine Mutter ist Ärztin. Meine Mutter ist Ärztin. Ich habe eine Schwester. Ich habe eine Schwester.
Perfect, Emily. Here you're using the accusative case because
Pa,
is the direct object of the verb.
sehr,
See, the accusative case is crucial when showing what something acts upon.
unser Auto.
Is put into the accusative because directly receiving the action. Now, let's apply this with a question. James, try it. Emily said,
Ich habe keine Geschwister.
I don't have any siblings. Notice we use
Keine.
to negate Geschwister. James follows up with,
Ist deine Familie klein?
is your family small? A really nice question to ask. Klein small is feminine because family is feminine. Let's practice using these. Great work today. We covered the verb haben, possessive adjectives like mein and deine, and some basic family vocabulary. Remember to practice conjugating haben and figuring out the gender of nouns. For homework, write a short paragraph about your family using at least 5 words from today's lesson. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Until next time. Okay, everyone, fantastic work today. We've covered a lot of ground learning how to describe our families in German. Remember to practice those endings on the nouns and don't forget the importance of
Mal, da.
etc. Alright, let's do a quick quiz to check your understanding. Question 1. What was the main topic of this lesson? Was it talking about your hobbies, describing your family, ordering food, or asking for directions? The correct answer is describing your family. We spent the entire lesson learning how to talk about